Denver Broncos under the lights on Monday night.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
And off we go from Denver. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So now here are the Broncos to take over on offense, led out by their rookie quarterback, drafted 12th overall, Bo Nix out of Oregon.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Great beginning there under the bright lights of prime time.
Yeah, it takes you back to high school football on a Friday night, doesn't it? When you feel like every eye in the county is on you. In this case, every eye in prime time is on you.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
They run it again with Williams, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd and 9. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Nix to the air. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Jalen Darden deep for Cleveland. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So here comes the Browns offense with a long field ahead. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Here's Winston. To the sideline and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They go play action. Winston. He'll fire deep, looking for more. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Elijah Moore, 59 yards. And the Browns will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception. Seven 0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Off the play fake, here's Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Now he'll try to run with this. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 18 more yards there and another first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And they'll fake the jet sweep, but instead give up the middle to Williams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Bo Nix, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Yeah, this is pretty similar to the Wildcat plays that were bouncing around the league circa 2008 or so. The idea here, just snap it right to the guy you want to run with it. In theory, you're getting yourself an extra blocker. And here, that Wildcat runner is your quarterback. And he takes it into the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
To throw, Winston. This will be caught. Judy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Off the play fake, Winston. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
2nd and 10. Jameis again. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Winston. That is caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Elijah Moore. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have taken the lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. That's taken in by Franklin. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 68 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 14. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Jameis to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Moore. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he gets it down to the 32. 46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now Chubb running right. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. He's off to a great start here in this first quarter. It seems like this defense is probably going to have trouble containing him.
I would agree with that. I love the observation. And here's the thing. Their game plan coming to fruition. You knew that they came in thinking that they could run it, and now they're proving that they can and doing it in a big way.
In motion left, the tight end. They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep. Maybe
even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland.
For as good as Nick Chubb is in the open field, he's every bit as good when they line him up down near the goal line. He's a speed back between the 20s, but a power back down close, and he forces his way into the end zone.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Throwing Nix. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw is Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The Browns offense and their star running back Nick Chubb getting set to take over once more. And he's been sensational in this opening quarter. You have to imagine we'll see much more of him as this game goes along. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. A give running right is Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1 as they've got it as we resume action. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that 1st down marker. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll come up 2nd and 7. To throw, here's Nix. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Franklin. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Now it's Nix. Over the middle, he finds Vele. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Bo Nix scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Broncos are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. We've seen this already from him in this game. 2nd time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On play action, Winston. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Williams. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's Nix. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
From the gun on 3rd down, Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Back to throw. Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Nix quickly into the hands of Mims. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The busy night continues for Williams. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Nix. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Back to throw. Nix. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
A toss to the wide side. This is Williams. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go with Williams. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver.
Javonte Williams. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Broncos have taken the lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So that about as lengthy a drive as you're ever going to see.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing, Winston.
He'll get this complete to Tillman.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Now Winston. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Winston now. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. And Chubb will try the middle here.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 101 yards rushing now for Chubb and a first down as well.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here's Winston. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Winston. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
David Njoku, 27 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it. This thing's turning a bit wild here. We're tied at 28. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Marvin Mims, 73 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Lutt's good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Browns offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The Browns drive about to get started. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half, the same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. To throw, Winston. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down.
To throw is Winston.
Out quickly to Judy.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. 6-yard return after a punt of 48.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
And a quick throw here that's complete. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Now 2nd and 3. Nix to the air. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan? Introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello to Big Way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on out to our studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a terrific first half for the rookie first-round pick, Bo Nix. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The visitors' offense and Jameis Winston set to take over once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
112 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Following the penalty, Chubb. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Winston. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
How about the timing on that one? Well, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Winston.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Jerry Judy, 51 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away from drawing level.
Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route, because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective, because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze, because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Open man is the tight end, Troutman.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down and 3.
Looking to throw. Nix. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix. And he is caught.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. To throw is Nix.
Steps away to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the gun on third down, it's Nix.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This will be from 49 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good, and they have regained the lead.
So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this third quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns offense and Jerry Jeudy ready to go once more. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter.
The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Jameis to throw it. He's got Njoku over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now Winston.
Right back to Njoku.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Second and a couple.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Denver's offense ready to go again.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
To about the 35, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6.
A toss play to Chubb. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line.
Here's Chubb on the read option.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 7.
They'll look to throw here.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
If they want a 1st, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
And they'll send Judy in motion left. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Chubb.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. He'll look to throw.
That's caught left side by Judy.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Hopkins' kick is good. And this game is tied again here in the 3rd.
So give them 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Now it's Nix. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On play action, here's Nix. He'll air this one out from Mims.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Here's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Off the play fake, Nix.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Welcome back now to Denver. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Cleveland offense making their way out. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
In motion goes the tight end. They go play action. Winston.
He'll find more on the comeback route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Open man, he completes it to Judy.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1.
Up the middle, it's Chubb.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Play fake. Winston.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there.
Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Denver's offense now set to go. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
They begin the drive with Williams. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. To throw, here's Nix.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Two yards still to go. 3rd down now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
To throw is Winston. Under pressure, they got him again.
Nick Bonito, his 2nd sack of the night.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Throwing, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
Credit good coverage there in the pass breakup to Pat Surtain.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, You can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he will have a Broncos first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Again, it's Williams. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 3. Throwing Nix.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That's taken in by Franklin.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And with that pass, CD, he's now over 400 yards in the game. And even in a pass-first league, that is still a tough benchmark to hit.
And all week leading up to this one, all we read, heard about was the confidence he had that he could put up big numbers. Kudos to him for coming out here with that belief in himself and for making it happen.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A give to Williams, running right. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They'll motion out one of the tight ends. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Nix to the air.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Marvin Mims,
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
and the Broncos have taken a 4th quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Browns offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. The tackle made there by Drew Sanders.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake, Winston.
Completes the pass to Judy on the crossing pattern.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot. At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
And trouble trying the middle here. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And this is caught. He hits more. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 26-yard line. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Winston now. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the 1st down with his legs.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And he'll just get rid of it. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jameis Winston taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Browns answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So the Broncos now down by 4, 2:24 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10.
To throw is Nix. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
The Browns set to take over. They can't ask for much more than this. They've got it 1st and goal from the 5.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Following the interception, Winston. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Browns will add to their fourth quarter lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Now it's the Broncos' turn. Trailing in this one now. 2:09 to play. They'll have 1 play, maybe 2, before the 2-minute warning as they've got a 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw now on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Nix.
Now he's loose again.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Marvin Mims.
63 yards.
And the Broncos have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
And this is caught. So they took a chance, but they are back within a single point here in the 4th. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
And now the Browns coming out on the field.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Winston to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And they will take a knee here.
Second and 11 now.
Chubb will get the call running left. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Denver, good night, everybody.